Chapter 11, The Wedding. Wanyenyekevu was a nervous wreck trying to get everything together, but the entire community and his friends were there every step of the way. It would be perfect if my parents could come, but it wouldn't be safe for them to come, nor return, without putting them in danger, said Wanyenyekevu as he and Obe leaned against the fence of his new home. Obe smiled, he would understand. We have enemies surrounding us in every direction except the south. They should stay here it safe until things are safe here. Wanyenyekevu looked at Obe, it will never be safe as long as El Paso surrounds us to the east, Phoenix to the west, and nothing but Abenians to our north, miles away, but they are there. Mercy walked up and stood by with her arms folded and tapping her foot on the ground. Sorry to disturb you two, but there is work to be done. Obe, find your son cause he needs some work done in the animal cages, and Wanya, Joy needs you for something. Wanyenyekevu and the council appointed governors and officials for each town and territory to help to organize the newly formed areas, and 2 days before Queen was scheduled to get off duty. They started arriving, and there was no hurry to house the people before the wedding day. The visitors began building camps throughout the city, and the encampments and visitors overran the city. Friedrich advised Wanyenyekevu, back in the day, they made hotels to house visitors when they traveled from plate to plate. Let's build our visitors a comfortable plate to stay so they know we will be overwhelmed. Wanyenyekevu agreed and called an emergency meeting for all spedsters and engineers to come together and build an enormous building that enclosed the interior. Though that housed hundreds of families with spacious rooms and placed the people in there for the wedding. Alberto, the governor of Colonia and Huat, approached Wanyenyekevu after the meeting. Watu wake sasa kupumzika is 3 days after the wedding. The hotels are a good idea, and no, we'll stay a little longer and help you celebrate your wedding and this glorious holiday. Because of you, we all live in peace and would like to honor you and your future wife. Wanyenyekevu was honored and agreed by ordering 3 more buildings to be built for the people. Friedrich turned to Wanyenyekevu, what will we do with these buildings afterward? Wanyenyekevu talked for a minute to himself. Schools? Friedrich agreed. The people started arriving from Ciudad Cuauhtémoc, Madinat Altanwir, Colonia Alvaro Obregón, and Granjas El Venado. Queen was relieved of her duties bijome and saw all the people and was amazed and shocked to see them in her town. Wanyenyekevu stood there to welcome her. Who are all these people? Queen asked. Wanyenyekevu smiled. Our wedding guests. She looked around again. We still have a week before we get married. Wanyenyekevu looked at Queen and was speechless. Well, we have more gifts than we thought we were going to get. The city was crowded, and the security was heightened, but everyone was finally comfortable, and the city was ready for the biggest wedding they had ever seen. Wanyenyekevu sat on his bed and just stared into space, nervous for the day had come, and he just sat there and thought about the things he loved about Queen. He grabbed his pad and wrote, "One of a kind." Searched until he have found the only one for me. Someone who would be there to me. For the world to say. Is my search over? Can he be at rest? It seems as if she's passed the test. The test of time. Someone who understands me language. Understand the way I think. The way I act. As a matter of fact, can say the things before they form in my mind. Lord, oh Lord. She's one of a kind. A knock is heard on wanyenyekevu's door. Come in. Unaware if he had been sleeping or just looking at the tailing all night. His notepad still lays on his chest, and an ink spot on his shades the size of a quarter. Friedrich opens the door. Eve checked the entire territory with the help of some speedsters, and everything seems to be secure. The guests are restless as well and saying the look on wanyenyekevu's face, Friedrich asked, "What's so wrong?" Wanyenyekevu replied nervously, "Nothing. I have checked the horses already numerous times and the guests were comfortable and Friedrich looked at Wanyenyekevu strangely because he wasn't speaking with confidence. Wanyenyekevu looked back at Friedrich with his head tilted and eyes wide open, and Friedrich thought aloud, "Oh, you're a virgin." Unaware if he should be embarrassed or proud now, Wanyenyekevu sighed, "Yes, and I never." Using his finger, got the talk. Sitting down on Wanyenyekevu's bed, Friedrich sighed. "Well, spiritual, that's a good thing, which is more important than the physical thing." Making a joke as he tried to ease the tension. "So, you never got your cherry busted?" Wanyenyekevu embarrassed smiled as Friedrich took a deep breath, but seriously, "Is she a virgin as well?" "Oh, am I kidding?" "She's." Taking another deep breath. "Listen. Because you two are virgins, you don't have to worry about the dick game." Wanyenyekevu sighed hesitantly, "The dick game." Friedrich shook his head. "Yes, that's what it's called, not the penis game, but the dick game. I'm not trying to be like al-Dib." As they laughed, he continued, "I'm not sure if you know this, but men have different sizes, and women would sometimes compare their men with other men they have been with by the size of their dicks. Some were bold enough to ask to say it before dating. If she dealt with a man with a larger dick than yours, she felt she wasn't getting the full package, and in the back of her mind, she was getting chatted out of the full pleasure of sex. Searching for the same dick size, but not searching for the true essence of a man. It was a toxic game where demonic forces crept into sex and corrupted the gift of God into a lustful game. Years of this caused women to have large body counts before the age of 30 and had multiple children by multiple men, and by the time they were finished playing the dick game, it was too late. Many men remained single because of this, fast asking themselves why they needed a woman with so many kids when he has none, and the cost to deal with that woman was greater than it was worth. They wanted them to care for their children and love them, but they could not discipline them, and the child's father was just as bad or even worse. Many died over this, and soon many refused to date their own and traveled abroad to find wives. As Friedrich spoke, Wanyenyekevu talked about the demons, incubus and succubus, while he was in Tallulah, Louisiana. Friedrich continued, "If a woman was happy with you in every aspect, but the bed, she would rather deal with a despicable man with a larger dick instead of a good man with a smaller dick, and the man with the bigger dick would use her for sex and or material gain." No, even though these men had plenty of other women, they were using in the same way. The women started having babies with these men. The men just wanted sex and money, not the babies, and tese women began saying things like they didn't need a man and men were no god, which prompted another title wherever women started to do crazy and distasteful things, all in the name of sex. These demonic forces controlled men and women who used other men or women forces by manipulating or controlling them and ruined people's expectations of what love was. An elderly man told me that in the olden days, it was the same way, that many women wanted to check men's bank accounts and the size of their dick before even giving them a chance at love, which was lust. If you think about it, the women's movement of the 1970s was the starting point of this sad game. But you shouldn't have to deal with that part of life, for about has kept you poor all this time, and she seems to be untouched. I don't know that when two people are intimate, they have this feeling of attachment and trust, and having this kind of feeling with someone can be dangerous if you're not supposed to be together. Wanyenyekevu asked. Is this what they call spiritual tears? Friedrich sighed. I don't know what it's called. I lost my virginity early in life, and after the first time, I didn't do any research about it. I just know what I've been through, but it sounds like what it should be called. Friedrich paused for a second. I read this a long time ago and agree with it now. They say that when two people make a conscious choice to commit to each other in marriage, that feeling is welcomed, and it is good to have these feelings. During intimacy, chemicals are released, and the body reaffirms the connection the mind has made. The reality of the relationship reinforced the physiological sensations of trust and attachment. In this way, two people become physically one, reflecting what God has done spiritually. God designated sex along with procreation to strengthen that partnership. Sex outside of marriage creates bonds that tear apart people's hearts instead of joining them together. I wish I knew what I'm telling you now back then, but honestly, I probably wouldn't have listened. Because having sex outside of marriage results in a person forming an attachment and trusting someone with whom they don't have a committed relationship with, and that can cause that trust to deteriorate. Two individuals who are physiologically obsessed with each other, but not committed to growing in God as a couple, can be torn from God and His plans for them. Now, imagine having hundreds of sex partners, mental chaos. There was another knock on the door. Get your scary boot on out here. Jome sighed as he and Aldib waited for Wanyenyekevu to open the door. Aldib sighed. I told you, he looks just as he did the day we met him, trying to touch that damn dome in El Paso. Scary as. Everyone laughed. Just nervous, that's all, and look at you two, clean as a whistle in all that wite. Wanyenyekevu sighed. Turning toward Friedrich, Wanyenyekevu says, everything you have told me thus far is educational and exciting. However, you still haven't told me what I am supposed to do. You have not answered my question. Friedrich sighed, I'm sorry, but the best advice I can give you, for now, is to take it slow and easy and don't rush. Aldib looked at them. Are you two talking about what I think you're talking about? I can give some advice on that. I already know you both ain't never had known. Virgins are rare these days, so if you're not careful, you can fracture your penis, and she can bruise her cervix. A bruised cervix ain't no joke. That can last as long as a week. If you do that, you ain't getting no more until that's too much pain or those cramps are gone. Blood will be everywhere. You got to watch the angle, you take it to her. If she has an ovarian cyst, you cold rupture a cyst. He moved his body in a titular motion, you got to take it neat and slow when you start. Everyone sighed in unison. No. No, thank you, we got it from her. Alvib smiled and sighed, alright, you're going to be walking around her with a crooked dick, looking like a pretzel. Wanyenyekevus es bulged, for real, and everyone laughed. Alvib smiled, just joking, you're a virgin, just take it slow. An alwite carriage trimmed in gold with 6 alwite horses stood in front of them as they walked outside. Who did this? Jome sighed. Brake, mercy, and joy. Wait till you see what Queen is in. Wanyenyekevu just stood there in amazement. It's beautiful, man. And a tear fell from his ears. Alvib sighed, you deserve the best if it wasn't for you. Lord knows what me and me brother would be, and me being married. Hell now. A tear fell from Alvib's ears. Friedrich climbed on top of the carriage and demanded everyone to get in. Bring y'all kring as on it does matter if we are late. Get in. There's a schedule we have to follow. As they rode down the path, an eagle cried out. They looked up, and the eagle circled them 3 times and flew off, dropping a feather that landed on Wanyenyekevu's lap. Picking it up, it is said that when an eagle appears, you are on notice to be courageous and stretch your limits. Accept the status quo, reach higher and become more than you believe you can be. You are to look at things from a new, higher perspective. Be patient with the present. Know that the future holds possibilities that you might not yet be able to see. You are about to take a flight. Friedrich abruptly stopped the carriage. A tall and very handsome man was on the road with the eagle was in his hand by its neck. I am not permitted to touch you or even try for 25 summers, but know this, I shall destroy you. The man growled as he ripped the eagle apart with his bare hands, and at it the man suddenly turned into a hideous creature they had never seen before. But I'm not the obedient type, and I shall destroy you and everything you know and love. Everyone could tell that the man was in great pain, as his skin burned the entire team he stood in their midst. He was more powerful than many they had already encountered, but the presence of Friedrich ate up his flesh as he tried his best to relay his message. Wanyenyekevu thought to himself, "Why didn't I say his present before a time?" Friedrich then sighed, Adam Lavase, himself, I imagine. It was only a message, and we are definitely doing something rigged. Could you tell he was of higher rank, if not Satan himself? I have never heard of the great deceiver delivering his own message. Anyways, we mustn't be late. Even he started we had 25 years before dealing with him. Demons are just stupid as humans. Other than him trying to disturb our piety, rigged no, he's just mad, but we must not allow him to disturb our joy. We have a wedding to attend. Grasping the range, Friedrich shouts. Ah, to the horses, and they were on their way. Wanyenyekevu was in awe as he looked at the crowd, there were thousands of people. The entire city was transformed into what looked like a heaven. Jome sighed, Joy thought of the idea when we went to heaven that on a time, Friedrich sighed. You must tell me about that when we have a time, for this also takes me breath away. As they made their way around the road to the back, a red carpet led to the entrance, and Ili, a faithful warrior, took the carriage from them. Queen is not far behind, and Tutu is waiting for you. Just follow the red carpet, Ili said as she rode off in the carriage. They all quickly walked on the path of the red carpet to meet Tutu. Tutu led them to an enormous room, and they just sat there for 30 minutes before they heard a hard knock on the door. Wanyenyekevu's heart started racing. He hears a whisper, Friedrich, we are ready. As Friedrich opens the door, he looks at Wanyenyekevu. Today you're going to be blessed with Someone Everyone dreams of, a woman sent peace about to come into their life. Maybe, on a day, I'll be just as happy as you. 20 minutes later, there was a loud sound of trumpets playing and then another knock. It was Mercy. Wanyenyekevu, we're ready. A voice over the intercom said, Please join us in the arena for a very special day, and a great event is upon us. Daniel was speaking, and they could hear his voice throughout the city. Our friends and family are getting married today in a unique ceremony. We talk from the groom himself that combines African, Native American, and European cultures. We invite all to come to se to finally get married. Laughter erupted throughout the city. Slow love songs and jazz played across the speakers while everyone took their seats. Quietness covered the area after 15 minutes. Friedrich stopped at the entrance of the doors as Wanyenyekevu, Jome, and Alvib walked tentered stage and stood in front of the throne. Wanyenyekevu, with his palms sweating and his heart still racing, Alvib leaned towards Wanyenyekevu and whispered, Know how you feel, it's a wonderful feeling. Ain't it? He looked out towards Joy and smiled. I don't regret it and never will. Huge and beautiful African and Native American tribal statues and ornaments surrounded the stage, representing piety and love. White and gold silk cloth was draped over the seats and along the pathway leading to the stage. Dark Eagle and Queen walked down the aisle as Native American drums sounded in the arena. Dancers danced ceremonial dances. All dressed in white with the most beautiful array of colors. Dark Eagle's wife, Isabella, walked down the aisle, followed by their three sons, Alemwa, Kisoma, and Nipahem, now known as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Wanyenyekevu looked down at Queen as she walked towards him and just smiled. Halfway up the steps, Wanyenyekevu walked towards Queen and grabbed her by the hand to help her up. They walked toward the left side of the stage next to a water bowl as they washed their hands. Friedrich walked forward with a wireless microphone, saying, Water is a symbol of purification and cleansing. Ceremonial washing of hands symbolizes the washing away of past evils and memories of past loves. Alvib whispered to Jome, Well, they could have skipped that part. Jome smiled and shook his head. Musicians began playing a combination of drums, rattles, flutes, and whistles. It was a powerful musical presentation by a group of men sitting around a large double-headed drum, singing in unison and drumming with sticks. Wanyenyekevu and Queen then walked down toward Friedrich, no tenterstaged. Friedrich Smiled, dearly beloved, we are gathered together here in the sight of Sabaoth and in the face of this company to join this man and this woman in holy matrimony, which is commended for being honorable among all men, and therefore is not by any means to be entered unadvisedly or legally, but reverently, discreetly, advisedly, and solemnly. Tese tuo come to be joined into this holy estate. If any person can show just cause why they may not be joined together, let them speak now or forever hold their peace. Friedrich paused and looked around as he continued, marriage is the union of husband and wife in heart, body, and mind. It is intended for their mutual joy and the help and comfort given to one another in prosperity and adversity. But more importantly, it is a means through which a stable and loving environment may be attained. Through marriage, wanyenyekevu and queen, sorry, anaya commit together to fight their disappointments, embrace their dreams, realize their hopes, and accept each other's failures. Wanyenyekevu and anaya will promise one another to aspire to these ideals. Through their lives together through mutual understanding, openness, and sensitivity to each other. We are here today before us about because marriage is one of his most sacred wishes to witness the joining in marriage of wanyenyekevu and anaya. This occasion marks the celebration of love and commitment with which this man and this woman begin their life together. And now, through me, Sabaoth joins you together in one of the holiest bonds. I understand you both would like to say your vows to each other. They smiled and nodded their heads. Wanyenyekevu cleared his throat. In the Torah, Adam named the animals. It was then and only then that he realized he was alone. I, too, had to make an adventure clear across this country before I realized I wanted Simeone to complete me, and I found that in you. She and nervous at first, for I didn't know what to do, to say, but your presence made me heart beat faster than anything or anyone else could. Then I knew it was you that I wanted to be beside for the rest of my life. I love your strength and honesty. I love your zeal and commitment to Sabaoth. Until now, I was half of a man, but this day forward, I shall be made whole. Thank you. Queen had tears in her eyes as she sighed. I have never met a man that made me feel the way you do. I never even thought this feeling was possible for me. Strong yet gentle. Stern but yet humble. Open-minded and wise are the qualities I see in you. I have always been seen as a strong and sometimes fearless person, but you turned me into a small kitten yearning for love, and I found that in you as well. I love you and always will. Queen paused, then continued. I thanks about for you. You have earned the right to call me Anaya. The crowd laughed. Who gives this woman in marriage to this man? Friedrich sighed. Dark Eagle sighed Ido. Friedrich then sighed. This is a beginning and a continuation of their growth as individuals. The affirmation of honest life, happiness, development, and freedom comes with mutual care, respect, responsibility, and knowledge. With respect for individual boundaries comes the freedom to love unconditionally. Within the emotional safety of a loving relationship, technology self-offered to one another becomes the fertile soil for continued growth. With care and responsibility towards self and one another comes the potential for full and happy lives. We assure them that our hearts are in tune with theirs, begathering all the wishes of happiness and our fondest hopes for wanyenyekevu and anaya and all present. These moments are so meaningful to all of us, for what greater thing is there for two human souls than to feel that they are joined together to strengthen each other in all labor, to minister to each other in all sorrow, and to share in all gladness. This relationship stands for love, loyalty, honesty, trust, and most of all, friendship. Before they knew love, they were friends, and the seed of friendship was their destiny. Do not think you can direct the course of love for love, it shall direct you if it finds you worthy. Marriage is an act of faith and a personal commitment, and a moral and physical union between two people. We have described marriage as the best and most important relationship that can exist between them. It is the construction of their love and trust in a single growing energy of spiritual life. It is a moral commitment that requires and deserves daily attention. Marriage should be a lifelong consecration of the ideal of loving kindness backed with the will to make it last. Friedrich then spoke in his native African tongue and interpreted it, saying, "No you will fail no rain, for each of you will be a shelter for the other. No you will fail no cold, for each of you will be warm to the other. No there will be no loneliness, for each of you will be a companion to the other. No you are two people, but there is only one life before you. My beauty surrounds you both in the journey ahead and through all the years. My happiness be your companion and your days together be good and long upon the earth. This means that you should treat yourselves and each other respectfully and often remind yourselves of what brought you together. Give the highest priority to the tenderness, gentleness, and kindness that your connection deserves. When frustration, difficulty, and fear assail your relationship, as they threaten all relationships at one time or another, remember to focus on what is right between you, not on the part which seems wrong. In this way, you can ride out the storms when clouds hide the face of the sun in your lives, remembering that even if you lose sight of it for a moment, the sun is still there. And if each of you takes responsibility for the quality of your life together, abundance and delight will mark it. Doyo, wanyenyekevu, take anaya to be your wife to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony. Will you love her, comfort her, honor and keep her, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, for better, for worse, in sadness and in joy, to cherish and continually give upon her your heart's deepest devotion, forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto her as long as you both shall live. Wanyenyekevu said Ido, and I will. Friedrich continued, Doyo, anaya, take wanyenyekevu to be your husband to live together after God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony. Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer, for better, for worse, in sadness and in joy, to cherish and continually give upon him your heart's deepest devotion, forsaking all others, keep yourself only unto him as long as you both shall live. Anaya said, Ido, and I will. Friedrich smiled, what token of your love do you offer? Jome stepped up and gave wanyenyekevu the rings. Would you plait the rings in my hand? Friedrich sighed as he continued, my these rings be blessed as the symbol of this affectionate unity. Tese tu olives are no joined in one umbroken chirtle. Wherever they go, might they always return to one another. Might tese to find the love for which all men and women yearn for in each other. Might they grow in understanding and compassion. Might the home they establish together be such a plate that many. Plaiting the rings on each other fingers. Friedrich put a broom on the side of them, toward the crowd, and said, as about has chosen you both to do his will, from this day forward, jump this broom as husband and wife. Wanyenyekevu and Anaya held hands and jumped the broom. Friedrich said, you are no husband and wife, you may kiss the bride. As they kissed, the entire arena stood up and cheered. The entire city celebrated the wedding the whole night, and powwows were throughout the city. Wanyenyekevu and Anaya were so happy as they sat at the table with all their family and friends. They talked and reminisced. Jome stayed for an hour before asking to be excused because his battalion was on duty. I will allow a few men at a time to come to wish you well, but next week there is watu sasa kupumzika, so security has to be heightened, wanyenyekevu said, but of course. No problem. Queen was so happy that she had tears of joy in her eyes as she started feeding wanyenyekevu. Her treatise. Wanyenyekevu was speaking to so many people that she couldn't get her words out before she realized he was a famous man, and she too engaged with the people. The music was loud, the people started dancing and cheering, and the celebration lasted all night. Before midnight, Queen grabbed Wanyenyekevu and said, a toast, and we shall part ways for tonight. Everyone shouted a toast. Queen poured Wanyenyekevu and herself a glass of Aunt Isabelle's homemade wine. Be careful with this, don't let the god taste fall you. Wanyenyekevu stood up, I want to thank you all for coming and showing up on this special occasion. 10 years ago, I left me home in Louisiana to obey Sabbath, and now I'm surrounded by more friends and family than I could ever imagine. We have had good times and bad times together. We have had war and peace. Looking over at Jome and his brother. Tommy first two friends who have stuck by me since I walked up to that wall in El Paso, Texas. One was serious, and the other one was a headache. Everyone laughed. But he too became my dearest friend, but still a headache, but he puts a smile on my face every time he speaks. Aldib raised his glass to Wanyenyekevu and smiled. To my family of brothers and sisters in New Mexico who was unsettled. The nomenclatures and not names, your father asked me to take you in, and I was scared, but it turns out I wasn't your babysitter like Aldib said I would be, but another one of your brothers. Aldib interrupted. I didn't know I would fall in love with one of them either. The crowd sighed. Ow. Wanyenyekevu sighed. Yup, I wish you could have seen him, we all knew he was in love. Because he was a changed man ever since then, for the better, may I add. The laughter covered the room again. Mi family at Madinat Altanwi ruhere we metthose in the desert were forced into labor, and we made a training camp, and Sabaoth taught us all how to love and respect our differences. I love all of you and put you all before myself, and Sabaoth has awarded me the greatest gift of all her intuition, mi wife, Anaya. Jokingly he said, I all better call her queen, cause the first time I met her, she told me nobody calls me Anaya but my family, call me queen. The crowd laughed again, and Queen just blushed, looking at Queen he sighed. Anaya, we are family no, but you will always be my Queen. Wanyenyekevu raised his glass, may we all find love and be happy in Sabaoth. They all raised their glasses and cheered. Wanyenyekevu took a sip and sighed, this is delicious. As he asked for another one, Queen sighed. I'll be careful no. After 30 minutes, Wanyenyekevu and Queen bid their farewells to the crowd, and Queen noticed Wanyenyekevu was slurring his words. I warned you about that wine. Wanyenyekevu smiled him ok baby. As he kissed her on the cheeks, moments later, a golden carriage trimmed in white drawn by white horses pulled and waited for them as they waved to the people saying their good nights and goodbyes. I should have listened to you, my head is spinning, but it was so delicious. Sighed Wanyenyekevu as he stuck his head out the window for some air. The wedding was beautiful and so are you. You brightened me day when I saw you coming down that aisle, beautiful, like an angel. And when you got on that stage, that smell, oh that smell, was so wonderful. What was that? When blushed, you're kind of drunk, I like that. Wanyenyekevu took a second. Am I drunk? I am drunk. I've never been drunk before, but it was for a special occasion, and he rubbed Queen's hand. For you, my wife, and kissed her on the cheeks.